integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again. I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again. Can't take you serious, you acting petty, making me laugh like Ed and Eddie. Run out the truth when things are too heavy, like Kevin Hart, he wasn't ready. I take a bullet, I die for my people. You pull the trigger just to get equal. Most of you people fall out cause it's hard. Take pressure like Job, I'm on my job. I can't believe it, in spiritual Egypt, my people are evil than ever before. They kill a nigga for chicken like damn, bruh, I can't even walk to the store. They be out here screaming, Jesus, I love you. When I know
today's class is going to be called Social Distancing Ordained by God. Social Distancing Ordained by God. We're going to dive in on some stuff today. Give me Isaiah 29, and let's open up with verse 10. 29 and verse 10.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 10. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered.
So it says, the Lord hath poured upon our people the spirit of deep sleep and closed eyes. This is, oh, praise him, good brother. What eyes has he closed? Let's see who's thinking. What eyes has the Lord closed? Officer Daniel, what eyes have the Lord closed?
The minds of the people.
Okay. Officer Sirach. That goes with it.
The eyes of the pastors that are supposed to be leading us.
Okay. Let's give it to Officer Zacchaeus over there.
Our spiritual eyes.
Spiritual eyes. Right, because the Lord give us all eyes. Most people can see, you know, some people are born blind. You know, we read about that, but it was all for the Lord's glory. But the Lord said he has closed the spiritual eyes and put us in deep sleep. Give me Matthew 13. Let's see. Christ spoke on it. That was Isaiah 29 and 10. Lord closed the spiritual eyes. Let's go Matthew 13. Let's start at verse 13.
The book
13
of Matthew,
through 15.
Matthew chapter 13 and verse 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive.
Because of what? Your spiritual eyes will be closed. You'll be in a deep sleep when you hear these words. Read on.
For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them.
So Christ spoke on it again. He's talking about that Isaiah 29. The spiritual eyes are closed because they see, but they don't see. It's right in front of them. They hear, but they don't perceive what is being said to them. Pull up the video to show you what it looks like to have your spiritual eyes closed. Pull up the video. This is what it looks like. Just to make the Bible real, this is what it looks like to have closed eyes, spiritually closed eyes. With everything going on now, our people line up. This is Memphis. Shout out to Memphis. Play that thing. Now, they got some cussing in it, but so you got some cussing. You listening, you take the kids out the room. But it's short.
They over deep in here, squad team. Look, y'all, coronavirus. But way back there, man. They say ain't nobody getting no shoot, man. Police said they got to practice social distance, man. They tough. Jordan don't play this shit. Jordan get a motherfucker corona and everything, man. Look at the police. White boy ridden.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like to have spiritually closed eyes. ain't worried about nothing. And you know, and this is the thing too. Most black people ain't got no daggone health insurance. We ain't got none. Unless you know somebody with some backwood remedies, you catch Rona, you done. But when you got spiritual closed eyes, it don't even matter. You'll line up for some Jordans. You'll risk death for some Jordans. Give me that Luke chapter 12. Luke chapter 12, and let's read 22 and 23 about these spiritually closed eyes.
Luke chapter 12 and verse 22. And he said unto his disciples, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, neither for the body, what ye shall put on. The life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment.
Jump down to verse 28.
Verse 28. If then God so clothe the grass, which is today in the field, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith?
O ye of little faith. You know, our life is more than the name brands that you got on your back and on your feet. And some of us, it is true, we got to come to that understanding too, because I've seen it time and time again. Brothers and sisters, it ain't nothing wrong with if you got it, you can afford it, whatever. But don't be buying stuff just to be keeping up with the Joneses because this is what everybody else is doing. Brothers coming with fresh Jordans. And we know Jordans cost $200 now. But you that old man is like, I can't wear nothing but Jordans. Me and my kids ain't gonna wear nothing but Jordans. Ain't calling out nobody sitting at this table up here. Read verse 28 again. Read that.
Verse 28. If then God so clothe the grass, which is today in the field, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? And seek not ye what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, neither be ye of doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Now, when you are spiritually dead on the inside, you will seek for external pleasures to make you feel alive. And that's what our people do in not just this situation of what's going on now, but this is on a daily, weekly basis. Our people are walking around spiritually dead, spiritual eyes closed, so they need external measures to actually make them feel alive. That's why they got to have the certain type of name brands. I can't wear nothing but this. I got to have the Gucci flip-flops and all that type of stuff that we really can't afford. But to feel alive, because we dead, we got to put that on our body on the outside. Now, go to Psalms 19. Psalms 19 to show what opens the spiritual eyes. Psalm 19, let's read verse 7 and 8.
Book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
That's what Christ said, right? Unless they be converted and shall see. Read on.
The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes.
So until the law is applied, all of us, and we know we walked in darkness. And I've said it many times before. I used to read the Bible all the time because I knew I was wicked. I knew I was doing wrong, but I never saw the word Israel in the Bible. I never saw that. It had not been opened up to me because for what? I was not applying the law. Once I was ready in the spirit to apply the law, then the Bible opened up to me. And I began to understand things. And then the Lord, one step after another, led me to IUIC, right? Give me 1 Corinthians 2. So the law of the Lord is the only thing that will open our eyes, especially during these dark times that we're in. We are in very dark times. 1 Corinthians 2, and let's read 10, verse 10.
1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 10. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of God. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him? Even so the things of God knoweth no man, but the Spirit of God.
So unless God gives you his Spirit, you will remain in a spiritual deep sleep. Unless his spirit is on you, will not understand the Bible at all. Read on.
Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of God, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of God, which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teaches.
And what does that mean? Who can explain that part right there? Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth. How can we explain that? Let's see. Soldier Lemuel.
Like, for example, it was saying, like, the eyes are closed. Men will read that and just say, oh, that means people are blind, people can't see. But we understand that it's also spiritual and things are double meaning.
All right, I like that. Officer Uriel, that's a good way of putting it.
Just like Colossians 2:8 say, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit after traditions of men. So basically the traditions of men are basically what they think that or how they feel what a prophecy is. They're going to teach you off of their own understanding.
Okay. Who was that? Officer Daniel. Then we give it to Zadok.
Like see, on the things that we speak on how we fix our communities, the things that we need to do as a people to repair those things. Our people look at it in a carnal way, like we need economics.
There you go.
We need things like that.
That's it. You're right. And we saw Captain Ferris brought that out in the video last week where you hear the pain in P. Diddy's voice. Like he's just give me a solution. We superheroes. We come together. They can't stop. You can hear he sound like he's ready to cry. But he has the wisdom of the world and not the wisdom of God. And he has no solution. He knows the stuff, because remember, like we brought out, that vote, he was pushing vote or die. He was pushing that heavy when Obama was in office. And he understands that really ain't going to change nothing, but he don't have the Spirit of God to dive into this book and give us a serious solution that will actually affect our people. He is literally hoping that we do the same thing again, and it actually works this time. What do they call that when you keep doing the same thing over? What do they call it, brothers? Insanity. Black people are insane. Black Hispanic people, we are insane. We know Trump is a terrible president, and you know that you've been oppressed by white folk, but anything to get him out would choose the other evil, which is the lesser of two evils. What's his name? Joe Biden. They know that Biden don't give a damn about it. They just want to be in the office, but they don't have no real solution. Go back to Matthew 13 read verse 14 in that. 1 Corinthians 2.
Verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
So the stuff we're gonna bring out today, some people just ain't gonna get it. So the class is what? Social distancing, ordained by God. Some people gonna hear this class and they just not going to get it. It's go right over their head. Because their eyes is closed, their ears is shut. They ain't gonna be able to receive it. So some people just ain't gonna get it. Give me Matthew 13:16. And we gotta understand that as believers that, we was talking earlier, that 2/3 number got to be fulfilled. It got to. And it's going to be fulfilled. Thus saith the Lord. So some people just ain't going to get it. Matthew 13:16.
The book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear.
Now, see, Christ ain't talking about just regular eyes and ears. He's talking about your spiritual eyes and your spiritual ears, for you see what's going on. You hear what is going on. And with that seeing and hearing, you understand that that the end is near. You understand that it's time for us to endure, because the end is near. Look up, for thy redemption draw nigh. And that's why the prophecy says that it'll be like the days of Noah when Christ come back, because there's going to be that many people that are going to hear it, but they're not going to hear it. They're going to see it, but they're not going to see it. And it's going to catch them just like the flood. But blessed are our eyes. Now, go to that. I think it's an image. The prolonged. Let me get it. Prolonged lockdown. Pull that up. I don't know how many of y'all saw this, been paying attention to this. But how long has this lockdown been? 4, 5 weeks, maybe? Maybe 6, right? We've been talking about this. This is prolonged. Now, I'm going to go somewhere with this. I'm going to see who's spiritual. Prolonged lockdown is like slavery. That's amazing that white folks that are trapped in their 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, 5-bedroom, they 2,000, 2,500 square feet house with air conditioner, ain't got to worry about no food. They would be saying, this is the equivalent of slavery. How can you compare being locked up in a house with air conditioner to people being shipped from one side of the earth to the other, being forced to work in the fields sun up to sundown until you dropped out dead? You can compare that. Go to the video. Pull the video, the Nothing But Politics video.
Lawyer, and I am bouncing off the walls of my living room because I can't go out.
She's a lawyer.
Freedom! Freedom!
Hundreds of people.
You're an American, a born-free American. They're lying about the death tolls.
I will take a chance to get a coronavirus better than shutting down this economy.
I'll die on my feet, not on my knees.
Yeah, I want you to take the vaccine first, Bill Gates.
We don't have a civil right to be immortal. If only the healthy people are okay and the people who are at risk get ill, isn't that how it's supposed to be?
I'm immune compromised. I put that at risk today.
Are you scared to die?
No more scared than I am for anything else.
Yeah. All them people out there protesting. Look at that. On the beach. None at all. No mask at all. Turning red.
The reality is we are just a few weeks away, not months away, from making measurable and meaningful changes to our stay-at-home order. That is a very optimistic point to emphasize. However, that's driven by data. It's driven by behavior. And as we change our behavior, we can impact the science, the health, and the data. This virus doesn't take the weekends off. This virus doesn't go home because it's a beautiful sunny day around our coasts.
Look at that, boy. You wonder why they keep talking about it's going to go up in the winter? There you go. Some of them people probably already dead. They probably already dead in the hospital somewhere.
There's not enough police to stop this.
Whoa!
That's why everybody, 60,000 people went to the beach yesterday. You can't stop this. You're a minority.
God bless America! God bless the USA! Trump 2020, we love you, Trump! Woo! California for Trump!
Yeah, it's counting.
COVID-19 is nothing more than a common cold. Everybody better watch out. Don't take your vaccines. Don't take nothing.
Y'all see all of them. You police can't stop us. You the minority. Go to the next video. Go to the next video. Those same people, right? Let's play that video, man. Look at them all up in their face. Pause it real quick. Now look at this. Go to the top and read that. How curious. Go ahead, read it.
How curious. Looks like some of the Blue Lives Matter crowd weren't as pro-blue as they were anti-black. Funny how that works.
Funny how that works. So that looks exactly like the same stuff Black Lives Matter was doing when white folks was like, why don't them niggas just obey? And they doing the same thing to this. So it really wasn't about blue lives. It was that you niggas is out of order. We was talking earlier that it's called the police force when it comes to black people and Hispanic people, but it's called police protection when it comes to white folks. That's the difference of it. Police force for you, police protection for the protection.
Because you see, even when during that video, you saw not one police break rank.
Nah.
Not one turn. He just turned his face. The woman looked like she was up in his face.
She was.
It looked like one of them almost spit on one of the cops. And not one of them even forcefully pushed anyone, but let it be a Black Lives Matter movement. Elbows, they would have had the baton, the shield, and all.
Going down. So all of that whole stuff about respect, authority, that's for you. Because remember, what did the police come out of? What did that, like, how did that come about? Who knows? Officer Pagiel, where did that come about of?
Slave catchers.
Slave catchers. That's what it came from. It came from slave catchers. So police force is to keep you in line, is to protect them. And so when they try to treat them like they treat us, now they ready to overthrow their own government. Go to the next video. Prove it. Go to the next video. Because the police force was never meant to treat them like they treat us. Pull it up.
This was the Capitol rally last Thursday. Outside, gun-toting militia protesters joined the larger group wanting the governor to reopen the state's economy. The protest then spilled inside. And there at the head of the line confronting police was one of a number of armed protesters demanding to be allowed onto the House floor, and they never made it.
Yelling in his
On
face.
the Today Show today, the governor said of the rally,
they carried nooses and Confederate flags and swastikas. And yet, while we're focusing on they're open carrying automatic rifles, that is legal in Michigan. It is not advisable.
Despite the wide gulf between them, Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey said in a radio interview yesterday the armed protesters were intimidating and inappropriate.
But there was a handful of people, mostly guys, that were, I think, over the edge in terms of how they were attired, how they were carrying their weapons, their facial expressions, their body language.
I was disturbed by what I saw.
Another person taken aback was John Truscott, a Republican and vice chairman of the Michigan Capitol Commission, responsible for the Capitol building and its safety.
We would like to see some sort of maybe restraint in terms of what can be brought into the building, and carrying openly loaded rifles is probably not where we want to be at this point.
I think that's the end of it, right? Okay, so that's the end. Now, here's my question. Let's see. Why are white people trying to overthrow their own government? Who got their spiritual eyes open? I play those videos for a reason.
And remember, Trump encouraged that as well. He followed right behind that and said, yeah, hey, I agree with them doing whatever. He's the top. And you have your own sets of politicians that control the state. He was with the people with guns overthrowing their government.
Right. Before all this, remember, he encouraged it. He said, y'all should protest against your governors, your mayors. So he was pushing that from jump. So ain't nothing new.
Spiritual eyes, where you at? Okay, let's see. Soldier Lemuel, then we're going to go to Jeramiel. What you got? Let's see who got spiritual eyes. But why are they trying to overthrow their own government? Make them stay.
Because they never really, they don't have order for one, and then they know that it's not we getting killed by it. Okay, so the quicker they let us open, the quicker we die or we fall behind them and follow them like we always do, and then blacks try to do the same thing and get shot.
Okay, all right. Soldier Jeramiel, let's see what you got.
They're trying to overthrow their own government because they're treating them like us. They're keeping them in the house. They're keeping them to where they can't do what they want, so they feel like they're being oppressed by their own government.
Okay, you kind of close. Let's see. Last one over here, Officer Zacchaeus. So I got 3. Okay, we're gonna give Soldier Like him in the back. See what he say.
Yeah, so the scripture called Esau a vagabond. And you know, vagabond supposed to be outside.
That brother got spiritual eyes right there. Damn it, he done answered both of the spiritual questions.
Right.
Esau's trying to overthrow his own government because he's a man of the field. You can't keep him inside. Genesis 25. Go to it. The Lord is working with that brother today. Genesis 25:27.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 27. And the boys grew.
This is for all the Negroes that say, who is it? East Saudi Arabian? The Esau's, the Arabs, whatever they be talking about. Read that again.
Verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
Of the what?
Of the field.
Uh-huh.
And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
You didn't see none of us out there for real. The only people that you would see out there that look like us is ones that get walking around with spiritual eyes closed, ain't got no common sense, actually think that they one of them. But you can't keep Esau in the house because he's a man of the field. No, this is why I said this is the spiritual eyes go see this. You don't see us out there protesting. The order stay in the house. Black folk will go to the grocery store and come right back home and be perfectly fine. 5 weeks, 6 weeks in the house, Esau said his spirit is starting to rouse up in him. God is showing all of our people who he truly is. He is Esau, Spain, America, Russia, Germany, Istanbul. What the hell? How you say it? Istanbul. Wherever you go, this is Esau on the earth. You can't keep him in the house. Read verse 27 again.
Verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
Black folks, Hispanic, we ain't got no problem staying in the house. We don't have no problem staying in the house until the coast is clear. Yeah, but Esau willing to put his life on the line because you ain't gonna keep me in the cave no more.
Yeah, we get mad at our bosses, me primarily. Send me home. Make me right. Send me home.
Send me home.
Go ahead, send me home.
In our mind, we be like, man, I hope that Rona stuff. I hope somebody in here cough. I hope somebody cough. Send us all. Go ahead.
Now, we saw that in Chicago. Brothers and sisters was in the crib.
Yeah,
we was looking for. They was in the crib.
Yeah, we don't come out. Especially if it's hot, we in the house. Rona, we in the house. Jump back up to verse 21.
Verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
What did God just tell us before we even came on the earth in the flesh? What did he just tell us when it comes to dealing with Esau, the man of the field? Read verse 23 for him again.
Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Who got their spiritual eyes open? What's the title? Let's see, Officer Mosa. What did God tell us before we even stepped in the earth?
Where it says 2 nations shall be separated, 2 nations will maintain social distancing.
There you go. Social distancing ordained by God from the jump. Before we even came out, God said, don't be around these people. Yeah, Levi, they cooking with fire, ain't they? Now keep reading. Read on to prove to you even more that Esau is the white man. We already got one proof. 30 days, overthrow the government for keeping us in the house because we have to be outside. I'm willing to put my life on the line and die. What did the dude say? I'm COVID compromised already. He did his head like, I'm COVID compromised already.
You got to remember, this is the same nation of people that separated from Britain. They separated from Great Britain. They killed. That was a big war, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them died. So Esau, they don't have a problem killing their own that would compromise their freedom. They don't mind.
They separated from Britain, then they separated North from the South, then they separated Republican and Democrat. They just all the way around.
Socially distanced from the jump. Now read on verse 24 on down.
Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
So Jacob looked just like everybody else, brown. But this one right here, Esau, is red. Now it says he's a hairy garment. What kind of hair did Esau have? What kind of hair does he have? Because this is going to disprove the Negroes that like to put up the black dude with red hair that look like Officer Daniel. They want to put him up and say, I guess Esau. No, it's not. Have y'all seen those pictures before? They try to put up a black dude with red hair. It's like, this is what Esau look. No, it does not. The Bible says different. So what kind of hair did Esau have? Soldier Micah.
Goat hair.
Goat hair. Exactly right. Genesis 27. Read Genesis 27. Read 11 and 12.
Genesis chapter 27 and verse 11. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man.
We are smooth men. So just to let people know, some people are like, oh, nah, I'm hairy. I'm a hairy dude. No, you not hairy like Esau. You are not hairy like Esau at all. That's why that Gillette commercial, that razor, if they didn't have that, they would literally look like caveman. If they let their hair grow, that stuff grows everywhere out their damn eyes. I be saying, white people to be having, you stand behind them in the Walmart line and they got hair coming out their ears. I be like, damn, that's crazy. That's Esau. Hair coming all the way, damn near merging in the back with their hairline. Yeah, send it to him. Read verse 12 now.
Verse 12. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing.
Jump down to verse 15. Let's see what Rebekah did. Read it.
Verse 15. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son.
What kind of raiment? Read.
And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck.
So Jacob, the smooth man that we are, he had to impersonate a goat to pass for Esau, a beast. Pull up the picture that Officer Leon just sent. He had to impersonate a goat in order to pass as Esau. There you go. He didn't cut his hair for a year or something.
Yeah, that's the pure form right there.
Yeah.
Right. He's missing some more. So his father probably got the full-blown caveman look.
That's what the urban legend comes from, Sasquatch.
Right, yeah. Sasquatch. He's the original Bigfoot. That's him right there.
Pull up an image of goat hair so people can get the visual of what is a goat hair, so we can make the word come to life. That's what kind of had a throw on the coat of a goat to impersonate Esau. So we know who we dealing with, right? Can't stay inside. Goat hair grow everywhere. It's hairy all over. Go to Exodus 19. Because we're gonna come back to Esau a little bit later on being separated from him. But go to Exodus 19. We're gonna deal with us real quick. Let's read 1 through 6 real quick.
Exodus chapter 19 and verse 1.
Medium.
In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they unto the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation.
A holy nation. Remember that word holy. Go ahead.
These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Pull up the definition of treasure. Pull up the definition of treasure. And I want to go to the thesaurus. Go straight to the thesaurus. I've been looking at that a lot lately with definitions. Let's see where that is. It should be on the page. So there we go. Visit thesaurus for more. Let's click on that. You might have to. There we go. Let's read that. Read the definition on that.
Synonyms and antonyms of treasure. 1. An asset that brings praise or renown.
So an asset that brings praise or renown. Go to the next one.
Synonyms for treasure.
No, keep scrolling. See what if it's there we go. Read that one.
Number 2, someone or something unusually desirable.
Unusually desirable. It's like you got a fetish for this thing. Go ahead. Go to the next one.
Treasure. 1. To hold dear.
Go ahead.
2. To put something of future use or value in a safe or secret place.
Now go back up to the top and let's read those synonyms that they got for it. Because it said Israel is a treasure to the Lord. So let's see what he means by that. Where we at? Yeah, let's read that.
Synonyms for treasure. Boast, credit, crown jewel, glory, honor, jewel, pride, trophy.
Now we understand if you got those things like a crown jewel is not to be shared with everybody. You don't give a crown jewel to everybody. It's valuable. You don't give it to people. They might drop it. Whoever has something that you didn't want, you would show somebody something, but you wouldn't let them hold it because you was afraid they might drop it or scratch it or do something to it. You'd be like this. No, just look at it. See with your eyes, not your hands. Don't put no fingerprints on it. Used to be like that, right? Deuteronomy 7 and 6. So keep those in mind. A treasure is a crown jewel, something of that is desirable. Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
There go that word holy again. Go ahead.
Unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Pull up the definition of special. Pull it up. Pull up the definition of special. And let's read the definition on there.
Special. Distinguished by some unusual quality.
Distinguished by, can somebody give me an example? How are we distinguished by some unusual quality? What is our unusual quality that separates us from everybody else? Officer Phillip.
We're stronger than all the other nations.
Okay, I'll take that one. Officer Micah. Law. The law, okay. Zacchaeus, let's see what you got.
With the class, even 400-something years of slavery, we still, when they give us that corner thing, we're like, all right, we've been through this, so we're still here.
Okay, we still here. Let's see what Vasea got to say. Soldier Vasea.
Just like we read earlier in Matthew 13, when we see things in the Bible, we can see it through a spiritual sense, but everybody else, like the other nations, cannot.
Okay, one more. Let's see. Soldier Shemawan.
On the other end of everything, when we were in the hard slavery, we were able to come up with inventions beyond what the other nations could do.
Okay.
And we showed ourselves to be special through those things that they couldn't do.
All right, I like that one. One thing the main unusual quality, pull it back up so I don't butcher that definition. Distinguished by some unusual quality, being in some way superior. The main one y'all left out is we are the sons and daughters of God. That's an unusual quality that you got. Nobody else can say that. Nobody. That's a very unusual quality that distinguishes you from everybody else. Go to the thesaurus on that. Thesaurus about special. Let's see what it say on that. Read that one.
Special. Being the one or ones of a class with no other members.
We are the only son and daughters of God. Nobody else. Go ahead. Keep going. Let's see what number 2 say.
2, granted special treatment or attention.
Special treatment or attention. We go somewhere with that one. Go ahead. No, you know what? I'm gonna jump. Let's go to the script. Zechariah 2:8. Special attention. Zechariah chapter 2, verse 8.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 2 and verse 8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye.
The apple of God's eye, because it deems that you have special attention placed on you. Because you are a treasure, you're a crown jewel of God, the apple of God's eye. And with that, it goes into that, because you could just say the apple of God's eye, but what does that actually entail? Because like I said, this ain't Christianity. We're just going to tell you something and then leave it out there for you to guess. Precepts behind it. Sirach 17. What does it mean to be the apple of God's eye? Sirach 17, and let's read verse 18.
The book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 18. Whom, being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline.
First thing with being apples of God eye, he gives you discipline. And discipline makes you better no matter what field or you in or what area of your life. When you apply discipline to your life, it ultimately makes you better no matter what you apply it to. Read on.
And giving him the light of his love, doth not forsake him.
So it says he does not forsake us. And he said he wouldn't forsake us forever. Go to Isaiah chapter 54. So that apple of God's eye says he would not forsake us. Isaiah 54, and let's read verse 6 on down.
Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 6. For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit.
So here's a question. When did the Lord begin to call us? Because he said he wouldn't forsake us. So when did he begin to call us? Does anybody know? Take a guess at it. When did the Lord call us? Uriel.
Egypt.
Egypt? You was in Egypt? Okay. Let's go to where you in that bit out there in Florida. Go ahead. Haiti and back. Give it off to Luke. What does that mean?
He called us from the womb. Jeremiah 1 and 5.
Okay, he called us from the womb.
He called us before we even came on the earth.
Did you hear him in your mama's stomach?
I hear him in my mama's stomach?
No.
Yeah, I heard him.
No, you didn't. Officer Zacchaeus. When did he begin to call us?
He began to call us from amongst the people that can't see. And he opened our eyes so we can see.
Okay, I like that one. You're close. Let's give it to Soldier Black.
Called us through the scriptures, how you read John 10 and 27, my sheep hear my voice.
Okay.
When we heard certain things coming out the scriptures, it resonated with our spirit.
Okay, I like that. Give me Officer Jakim up here.
Shalom. He started calling us when we started understanding that we are the Israelites. We are his chosen people. He started waking us up through the scripture. Deuteronomy 28.
Okay, all of y'all, you put all it together, all of y'all right, but he started calling you when this truth began to explode. Because before that, the truth was here in little bitty spurts back in the 60s and the 70s and things like that. Some of y'all have heard it before, but it wasn't that time for you to hear him calling you. When the truth began to explode on the earth, then you heard that voice of him calling you through the scriptures, Deuteronomy 28, and said, oh, that's the way to go. That's when he began to call you, when it exploded on the earth. Read verse 7 now.
Verse 7. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee.
Now it says, for a small moment have he forsaken thee. How long has it been, that small moment? Let's see. Now, don't give me the first thought on top of your head. You got to have spiritual eyes. We take it, let me up. What is that small moment? How long has it been? Take the mic. Let's give it to Soldier Ezekiel. How long has it been? He said for a small moment.
Since Christ was walking on earth.
Okay. How long was that? I mean, that was general.
2,000 years.
2,000 years. That don't seem like a small moment. Let's see. Soldier Jabez, what you got? I got to hurry up.
Leadership. Since the last captivity.
We still in captivity. What do you mean? Okay, no, I give it to you. Okay, Abazai Ephraim, let's see what you got. You got your hand up strong, no bend to your elbow. I got a call on you.
Shalom, leadership.
Shalom.
The first thing that came to mind was 2 Peter 3:8.
Okay, what does that say? Sum it up for me. How what does it say?
1 day is 1,000 years with the Lord.
Oh, so how long has it been? It said God said for a small moment. So how long has it been?
2 days, basically.
2 days, 3 days. That's what he said. It's only been for a small moment. To him, it's 3 days. Spiritual eyes, y'all. Read that again, verse 7.
Verse 7. For a small moment have I forsaken
3
thee.
days, and now we beginning to wake up again in that 3rd day. Go ahead.
But with great mercies will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment.
So a little wrath is being kicked out of our homeland and put on the other side of the earth to live amongst your enemies and fend for yourself for a little while and see how that does for you. Go out there. You think you big and bad, you go out there and you fend for yourself amongst them. Since you got all the answers and you don't want to listen to the Father, we'll see how you do on your own. And we see what's going on with us. No solutions to it, right? Go to Sirach 17. That's a little wrath. Sirach 17, let's read 19 and 20.
Sirach chapter 17 and verse 19. Therefore, all their works are as the sun before him, and his eyes are continually upon their ways. None of their unrighteous deeds are hid from him, but all their sins are before the Lord.
Being the apple of God's eyes, he's always watching. He's always watching. Now go to Tobit. Go to Tobit, because Deacon pulled this the other day. I saw this like, yeah, I got to add that one in there. How's he always watching? Tobit chapter 12, let's read 11 through 15. For those that don't know these things, that their spiritual eyes are closed, we're going to open them up. You wonder why you catching hell all the time? Wonder why we catch hell as a people? This is why. Tobit 12, let's read verse 11 through 15.
Tobit chapter 12 and verse 11. Surely I will keep close nothing from you, for I said it was good to keep close the secret of a king, but that it was honorable to reveal the works of God.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to reveal the works of God. Read on.
Now, therefore, when thou didst pray in Sarah thy daughter-in-law, I did bring the remembrance of your prayers before the Holy One. And when thou didst bury the dead, I was with thee likewise.
Read that again.
Verse 12. Now, therefore, when thou didst pray in Sarah thy daughter-in-law, I did bring the remembrance of your prayers before the Holy One.
So when you praying, somebody's listening. Read on.
And when thou didst bury the dead, I was with thee likewise.
Read on.
And when thou didst not delay to rise up and leave thy dinner to go and cover the dead, thy good deed was not hid from me, but I was with thee.
I was with thee. Read on.
And now God hath sent me to heal thee and Sarah thy daughter-in-law. I am Raphael, one of the 7 holy angels.
He's what?
One of the 7 holy angels.
Raphael's one of the 7 holy angels. Read on.
Which present the prayers of the saints, and which go in and out before the glory of the Holy One.
So there is always an angel that's listening and watching. Why? This is. Let me go to the next. Let me go through the scriptures that I would give you to. Go to Daniel 14 and verse 13. So he said, when you was praying, I was with you. When you went and did that good deed, I was with you. Right? Daniel 14, and let's read verse 13. Let's see why he was doing that.
He said Daniel 14?
Yeah, Daniel 4 and 13.
The book of Daniel, chapter 4 and verse 13.
My L looks like a bed.
I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and an holy one came down from heaven.
Read it again.
I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and an holy one came down from heaven.
So what do we read? And what we understand in here? That the angels are also called watchers. That's why God sees everything we do. Our unrighteous deeds are not hid for. So a lot of times you be like, dang, that seemed like a good young girl got killed, or young boy, or why they died so young. We don't know what they doing in the dark, but the watchers do. So the watch, because it's different elements of angels in there. There's different orders. You got watchers, some that are just assigned to an individual, and then you've got the holy ones, like Raphael and Uriel and them. Those are the holy ones. Read that again, Daniel 4 and 13.
Verse 13. I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and an holy one came down from heaven.
So some of the angels just watching and listening. And then you got the holy ones that do specific things, that they get orders from the Most High and they come down and do it. Like Gabriel was the messenger to deal about Christ. You got Raphael dealing with Tobit. You got Uriel dealing with Ezra. You got holy ones that do specific things. Now go to Matthew 18. Matthew 18 and 10. Put these precepts together.
Matthew chapter 18 and verse 10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven.
So Christ expounded on that. Them angels is always going back and forth talking to the Father on the behalf of them. We are so important to God as a people that we have personal bodyguards. We got Secret Service personal bodyguards that nobody can see, that protect us from certain things. They guide us in a certain way. Because remember, Paul said they minister unto us. So whatever the will of God is for us in our life, the angels are there to guide us in our way and protect us from certain things when danger is all around us. Sometimes we don't stop to think about all the dangers. You know what I mean? I was driving on the highway the other day, and I thought to myself, because, Corona, I ain't been on the highway in a while. I thought to myself, damn, you know how dangerous this highway is? I got on that thing, construction, because I ain't seen it in about a month. Construction is everywhere. The lanes are closed. The lanes are uneven. I'm merging onto the highway, and all I hear is shoom, shoom, shoom. I said, Lord, this highway's dangerous. I took the street way back home, just to let y'all know. I took the street way back home. I was like, this highway's dangerous, and that's the Lord. Every time we get on there, we don't know what can happen to us. But the angels are around us, protecting us, because each one of us have a personal bodyguard assigned to us. And he's not going to relinquish his duty until that day, that month, and that year for our time to return to the Father comes. Before that, the Lord's protecting us. You just got to have faith and believe that thing. Now go to Sirach chapter 16, verse 17. That's why some of us, you had the cough. Throat got a little tight, chest got a little, but the Lord let it work through your body and kicked it on out there because it wasn't your time to go. Right? Sirach 16 and 17.
The book of Sirach, chapter 16 and verse 17. Say not thou, I will hide myself from the Lord. Shall any remember me from above? I shall not be remembered among so many people. For what is my soul among such an infinite number of creatures?
So read that part. Read it again. I'm going to break something down. Read it again.
Verse 17. Say not thou, I will hide myself from the Lord. Shall any remember me from above? I shall not be remembered among so many people. For what is my soul among such an infinite number of creatures?
So I pulled the script. So don't think so little of yourself. Don't think that, it's a bunch of us out here, I can do evil and it not be reported to the Lord. No, because you got a personal bodyguard and they will snitch on you. When the Lord asks for a report on you, just like the leadership from Bishop on down, when they ask for a report on Miami, they ask for a report, Captain Severus, Captain Zakar, it's being sent up the chain and told to them. The same thing with the watchers. When your name comes up, what's the report on him? It will be laid out, everything that you do. And that's why we experience different things. And the judge, which is the Most High, says, you know what? Oh, did he repent from it? Okay, we'll wipe that off. Don't worry about it. Oh, they're still in their spirit. They got hatred, anger, dealing with drugs on the side. Okay, all right. So let's jack them up just a little bit to let them know we watching. And that's what gets us back in line to follow and stay on that straight and narrow path so we can get the kingdom. All of our name is written in the book of life. It's on us to get it blotted out. All right. So don't think so little of yourself because God is watching. Now jump up to verse 11.
Verse 11, and if there be one stiff-necked among the people, it is marvel if he escape unpunished.
Why is it a marvel if he escapes unpunished? Let's see, Officer Phillip. Why is it a marvel?
Because he got a watcher watching him.
You right. You got a watcher watching you. Ain't nothing you can do in secret. Go ahead.
For mercy and wrath are with him. He is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure. As his mercy is great, so is his correction also. He judgeth a man according to his works.
So that's what I'm saying. When the report goes up to the Most High about you, depending on the works that are written down by your watcher, the angel looking over you, then God makes a judgment on your life for that moment in time. If the report it ain't nothing but evil, and the watcher like, Lord, it don't. I've been whispering to him. I done led him to them IUIC videos and recommended videos over there on the side. He done got a flyer 3 times. She done heard the word from her auntie, her uncle. They done mentioned them Hebrew in BHIs. And she said, Lord, they don't want to save no white man. I don't want to do nothing with them. Take her life. And the judge says, you know what? Bring them on home. And that's it for you. Now go to Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 10. So we always got to be mindful because your watcher will tell on you. That's why Moses told our forefathers in the wilderness, surely your sin will find you out because you got somebody watching. Read this, Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 10.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 10. For the ear of jealousy heareth all things.
How does he do that? By the angels. Go ahead.
And the noise of murmurings is not
the noise of murmuring. Is not hid. Read on.
Therefore, beware of murmuring.
Be what?
Beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting. For there is no word so secret that shall go for naught, and the mouth that belieth slayeth the soul.
So understand, Christ said it. He expounded on it. He said, you shall be judged by every idle word that comes out of your mouth. Because the reason for that, we that special that we got somebody assigned to us forever because he will never forsake us. Although he put us in captivity, we living amongst our enemies. We got a personal bodyguard that's protecting us until the day of Christ. Right now, let's get back to Esau. Go to Genesis 25:23. Genesis 25:23. Social distancing ordained by God. Genesis 25, read verse 23.
Genesis chapter 25 and verse 23.
I don't want to forget the thought. Read that.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
So that's what God set up from the beginning, right? Go to Jeremiah 2 and let's read verse 21. He didn't say that just because he had to fill up the space and he couldn't think of nothing at the time, and you got brown skin and they're gonna have red skin, and stay away from that for that red skin rubs off on you. No, it wasn't talking about that. Give me Jeremiah 2:21. Show you why. Why God told us to separate. Be socially distanced from them people. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed.
What did God do?
Planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed.
So we are, from the womb, we are a noble vine, a holy right seed, a noble vine. That's who we are. Give me Sirach 24. Let's go to Sirach 24 and 1. So understand that. Remember, what's some of the attributes that we pulled out already about us as a nation of Israel? What are some attributes? Just name them. We went over them already. Lemuel.
Distinguished, special.
Okay. All right. Special. That was one word. These are words of the Bible. So he said we were special, which the distinguish is a synonym of special. Jabez, soldier Jabez.
That we were holy.
That we holy. Okay. Soldier Balek.
We love to dwell in tents to stay inside.
What?
Jacob.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I would use that one. Soldier Abiel.
That we were a treasure.
A treasure. I like that. So and now we can add what to it? What did we just read out of Jeremiah 22 and 20? What's the word, brothers? Noble. So we are treasure. We special above all people, and we are noble. Go to Sirach 24. Let's read verse 1.
Sirach chapter 24 and verse 1. Wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people. And
Jump down to verse 8. So it's talking wisdom, right? Jump down to verse 8.
Verse 8. So the creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob and thine inheritance in Israel. He created me from the beginning before the world, and I shall never fail. In the holy tabernacle I served before him, and so was I established in Zion. Likewise, in the beloved city he gave me rest, and in Jerusalem was my power. And I took root in an honorable people.
In a what?
In an honorable people.
So we got a treasure, we special, above all people, noble, and we are what, brothers? Honorable people. Read verse 12 again.
Verse 12. And I took root in an honorable people, even in the portion of the Lord's inheritance.
So you see the attributes of you as an Israelite, right? That's the attributes that are set in your spirit from the womb when he created it in the heavens and then he wrapped it in flesh and he pushed it onto the earth. That's who we are internally, right? You know how it is. We don't start trouble. We are fairly a peaceful people. You know, some of our people is wicked and they are the way that they are through a process of time, but a lot of times we don't start no trouble. What's this old saying? Don't start no trouble. What? Won't be no trouble. We live by that. We live by that thing. But Habakkuk chapter 2. But Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul.
His what?
His soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him.
So with you, you're honorable, you're distinguishable, you're a treasure, you're above all, you're a noble vine. If you are all those good things that are in your spirit, there has to be a counterpart to what you are. In every movie, there's a bad guy and a good guy, right? We are the good guys of the Bible, and we're just doing evil things. But in the end, we will be what God ordained us to be. All of those attributes. But the soul in the man you are dealing with, read it again. Read verse 4 again.
Verse 4, behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him.
Who creates the souls of the earth, brothers? Who does that? The Most High. Read on.
But the just shall live by his faith.
His soul is so demonstrative and crooked and evil that to live with this man, you're going to have to exercise faith. Because the things that you will see in your lifetime will make you want to lash out to get revenge and retaliation. But God said, you got to live by faith. You got to live by faith when you dwell with this man. Read on.
Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man.
He's a what?
A proud man.
Proud to be a what, brothers? What did y'all see in those videos? What? But what did we see in those videos while they was protesting? What did they have in their hands? The American flags. They proud of their guns too, but they had more American flags. They proud of that thing. Read on.
Neither keepeth at home.
Pull up that article. We see it coming to pass. We see it coming to pass. Pull up the article. There we go. Read that.
Venezuela's Maduro.
Maduro. You so proper. Go ahead, man.
Americans captured in failed coup plot.
Now read. I think. Let me see what I want to read on this. Read the title and jump down to the first paragraph. Yeah, just read that first paragraph. Zoom in some so we can all see it.
Venezuelan security forces arrested dozens of people, including 2 Americans, after a beach invasion allegedly aimed at overthrowing President Nicolas Maduro, a plot said to involve U.S.-backed opposition leader Juan Guaido.
Juan, whatever his name is. So that, you could drop that. Now, if you really think that, because you've seen Trump on the news, like, oh, we don't have anything to do with that. We'll look into it. If you believe that. Now, what's the scripture say? The earth is given into the hand of who? And with that hand, you best believe the wicked signs off on everything, especially a government assassination. The hand is given into the earth of the wicked. Nothing goes down without him saying so. So you crazy if you think Trump and America ain't got nothing to do with that. Go ahead.
And you see that all the time. They put it in their movies. Mission Impossible. Remember, this mission, we only got select few people to go in, do the job. If you're caught, we don't know you.
Yeah.
We will disown you.
Yeah. And then what happens at the end, like in Ghost Protocol all the time, this message will self-destruct in 7 seconds. And then it blows up. Get Officer Azadiah.
Yeah, that's why when they do stuff like that, they contract somebody, a private like militia, like what you about to read, and they make it seem like it's like they did it self-will.
Yeah.
So that way they have plausible deniability.
That's what it's called, plausible. It's like that. Throw the rock, hide the hand. That's what it is. So you don't know it's them that did it. Officer, right here, Officer Ephraim.
Those are the jackals.
Jackals. I heard of that name before. That's what they call them.
Deacon brought it out.
Okay, called the jackals. Let's go back to Habakkuk. Now let's read verse 5 again.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
So this is why the Lord told you to be socially distanced from this one particular people right here, because he cannot be satisfied when it comes to death. He cannot be satisfied with that. Let's see. Jump over to verse 9. Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 9. Then we're going to go to this article. Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 9. This is also in his soul. Read that.
Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 9. They shall come all for violence.
They do what?
Come all for violence.
Now we know that Habakkuk prophesied it was during the Assyrian captivity, right? But who is the Lord speaking about here? Who is he talking about, brothers? Because the Lord speaks to us how? How does he speak to us? In what type of way? Similitudes and parables. He compared the spirit of this man we dealing with during the time of them, the Assyrians. They shall all come for violence. For what reason, though? Go to Genesis 27, and I want to read verse 41 and 42. His soul ain't upright. He don't stay at home. He cannot be satisfied, even when it comes to death. They shall all come for violence. This is in his soul now.
Real quick, you seen it in that video. They came for violence. They knew the police have all types of armored vehicles and all types of stuff. They didn't care. They came with their rifles and they said, "You are the minority. We are more than you. If you want to, pretty much, if you want to fight, we can go."
Yep.
And if one would start shooting, I bet you it would have been a gunfight to the death.
Best believe it. Genesis 27, let's read 41 and 42. What else is in his spirit?
Genesis chapter 27 and verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
So that's why I said the Lord, it ain't the reason it didn't tell us to be socially distanced from these people because of color of your skin. Is because he hates you in his spirit, because he knows the blessing is upon you. Remember we said, we read in the definition of being special, is talking about something that is unusually desirable, something that is distinguishable from all others. That distinguishing trait that we got, the blessing from the Most High. We don't see it in ourselves as a people, but you better damn believe it that they see it. I say it all the time. If we didn't have the blessing of the Lord and was not the sons and daughters of God, and we was inferior like they say, there would be no reason for what you call that, institutional racism. Why would you have to be racist toward inferior people if they are less than you from the jump? You ain't worried about them. Talking about Esau. We can't stop it. If we let them go and let them be, they will surpass us. Look at what they're doing already in the face of all this oppression 400 years later. So that's the reason why. Read it again.
Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart,
in his mind,
the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Read on.
And these words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee,
as concerning you, go ahead,
doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee.
He does what?
Purposing to kill thee.
But he takes comfort in that thing. That's in his soul. Pull up the video. He's comforted in that thing. When you die, he feels better about himself when he gets rid of you. Pull up that article. Y'all been seeing what's going on. Black man running through Brunswick neighborhood, shot and killed. Play the video.
Now a News 4 Jax I-Team investigation of a shooting earlier this year of a 25-year-old Georgia man who friends say was jogging in a suburban Brunswick neighborhood. The case is now in the hands of the Hinesville District Attorney's Office.
It's been more than 2 months since the son of a former investigator for the District Attorney's Office shot and killed Ahmaud Arbery, claiming he and his father were acting within the scope of a citizen's arrest. Charges have not been filed. I-Team investigator Tarek Miner joins us now after speaking to Arbery's friends. Tarek.
Well, this shooting happened in Glynn County back on February the 23rd, before the coronavirus pandemic. But the case was transferred to Ware County because of the shooter's family's ties to local law enforcement. The case was then transferred again to the Hinesville District Attorney's Office for the very same reason. Arbery's family says the use of deadly force just wasn't necessary, and they want the shooter and his father held accountable.
I'm out here at Satilla Shores.
Listen to this.
There's a black male running down the street.
Where at Satilla Shores?
I don't know what street we're on. Stop right there.
That's the voice of former district attorney investigator Greg McMichael, suspecting 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery was burglarizing houses under construction at 1:08 p.m. in this Brunswick neighborhood. According to the police report, McMichael called for his son Travis, who grabbed his shotgun because they didn't know if the male was armed or not.
He automatically got to have a gun. Pause it real quick. Pause it real quick. The dude is jogging in broad damn daylight. See, this is the thought that they got, because it's down in their spirit. The thought, you jogging in broad daylight, he got to have a gun on him. Who puts a gun on him and then goes out jogging? Who does that? You know how uncomfortable it would be to jog with a gun on you? But their first thought is, comfort myself. Eat this. Get him. Here's our opportunity.
You hear his voice.
Yeah.
He just called 911. Nothing happened. He ain't get into no fight. Nothing happened. He just see a black man running down the street and he damn near choking on himself, trying to. He's a black man. He don't even know how to react. So much hate and rage is in that.
That rage, you just said it. The rage is building up. They can't even formulate proper words when that rage is in them. You see that? Their whole face turned red.
All right, go back to it.
It's been caught on the camera a bunch before at night. Kind of an ongoing thing out here.
Police say McMichael then armed himself with his .357 handgun.
That was a lie,
He and his
too,
son followed Arbery, who was running for 2 blocks. Before the report states, McMichael shouted, "Stop, stop, we want to talk to you." They pulled up next to Arbery, and police say the former investigator's son exited the truck with a shotgun. McMichael told police Arbery then violently attacked his son, and the two men started fighting over the shotgun. Travis McMichael fired 2 shots, killing Arbery at the spot of this memorial. Police say the McMichaels rolled Arbery over to see if he had a weapon, and no weapon was found.
Really?
Arbery's former football coach suspects it was a case of mistaken identity.
People are known for jogging that area all the time, and people know Mod jogs the area. Like, he would stop, and sometimes he was in the middle of his workout, and he'll just play like
Listen to the
basketball with
young
younger
brother.
kids.
This is what made
He'll
me
sit right out
sick
in the
about
street and
this.
just kind of shoot hoops with the kids, and then, you know, at the end of the game, he'll just go back to jogging. That's the kind of person he was. Everybody knew him for exercise.
Arbery's best friend says the community deserves to know the truth.
This is closed
It's
eyes.
not about one race, you know, because we're all a community, and we all see this as a tragedy to the community. It's not about black. It's not about white. It's not about a race. We can't make this about race. It's about what's right and wrong and what happened.
Really? Turn it off.
A former prosecutor.
You can't. What's the first thing when he called the police? What's the first thing he described? What'd he say? Black man is about race. It is. That's what I'm talking about. Spiritual eyes is closed. That's spiritual eyes being closed. Now you got a weak stomach, sisters. You ain't watched it. You can't watch it because play the video. This is what I was so mad when I saw this, man. Listen to this, man. Play the video of how it went down. Play that. Somebody that breaks into a house ain't just jogging down the street like that. He ain't running for his life.
He ain't got nothing in his hands, y'all. Nothing.
Before he attacked him, he shot. Listen to that. Look at that, man. And look how he walks off on him. Dead ass nigga. That's a walk off like, yeah, nigga's dead. I got him. Go run it, play it again. Because if you pay attention to the video, how it's going, he's jogging down the street. The only reason he crosses behind the truck to the other side, the white dude is standing in front of him already with the shotgun. That's why he crossed the street. And when he came on the other side and saw him, he saw him with the gun. And he shot at him, he charged. Go back to the video.
I was listening to a lawyer, black lawyer, talking about the incident. When he ran to the right side of the car, the Edomite came over to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he went back and fought him. He was fighting for his life. The Edomite came to the right side of the car. And when the camera panned back, that's when they was starting to come back to the left side. But the Edomite had already came over to that side.
When Ahmad goes to the other side, now he sees the gun pointing at him, and he immediately goes after him.
Right. It wasn't Ahmad on the right side, and he went to the left side trying to fight the dude. He was on the side. He was probably going to keep running.
Yeah.
But the Edomite came over to him, and when the camera pans back, that's when they going back to the left side of the car, and that's when the fight is on. Ahmad probably was going to keep running.
Right.
It's like, oh, snap, and keep running. But Edomite started it. He came over.
Play the video. Watch. Pay attention to it, y'all. Watch when you get the straightaway shot. You'll see the white dude standing out already, and that's why he crosses over. Real quick, there you go. You see him. He's right there. He crosses over. And now he goes to the other side, and he sees him with a damn, he shoot him. The dude's fighting for his life. Shot the dude point blank in his chest and walked off like, yeah, got me one. Look at that. Yeah, go ahead, Soldier Man. Wow.
Hey, Cap, I'm not the smartest person when it comes to investigating criminal activity, but I don't think a white T-shirt and gray gym shorts is the typical criminal attire to go break in the house.
Exactly right. Now, pull up the next part. Pull up that image that we got. Read that. This is a group.
Group by Christians against Google.
What they called?
Christians against Google.
Read on.
Justice for Gregory and Travis McMichael.
Read about
these two God-fearing men.
They what?
God-fearing men.
So that's how Christians that are God-fearing men get down when it concerns you Negroes. Two God-fearing men from the Georgia Bible Belt, right? Read on.
We're only trying to protect their neighborhood. This area has had a string of break-ins, and this man fit the description and did not comply with simple commands.
And you know how this is a lie? Because went back and checked the police calls for that month in Brunswick. There has not been one robbery reported to the police in the whole month in Brunswick. Not one. It's an article. I'll post it. Go ahead. Go back to it.
Our hearts go out to the McMichael family in their time of need. Amen.
Amen, right? That's Christians, right? Go to the next one. Go to the next one. The next picture. Come on, it's just the next picture. It's already up there, y'all. So look how many members. So it's just a singular incident of a group of people, and all of the whole white race is like, oh, that's wrong. They got 50,000 members in that group. That was yesterday. It's more than that now. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Okay. Zoom in on it. Zoom in on it. Now look at this. The group was called Christians Against Google, right? Look at that. It was July 22nd, 2017. Changed the name for Justice for Gregory and Travis McMichael May 7th. 3 years, but this incident right here is worthy of changing the name. Go to that image. Go to that. Just in case you think we a hate group. 50,000 members right there, and it's more. And look what they did. They took it upon themselves to do this. How many? 70,000? Okay. Go back to that and read a little bit of it.
Just wanted to say great job to the brave white men who survived the attack by a wild rabbit dindu and lived to see another day.
Read on.
This violent animal was someplace he shouldn't have been, then attacked two humans who were prepared. The mammy was on the news tonight whining and has already gotten black lawyers and is planning to cash in on this thing.
Go to the next one. Why God told you, way back before you even came on the earth, before your forefather, you better be social distance from this person. Morally and spiritually, you better stay away. Go ahead.
Check the crime reports.
Speed up on that. Read it quick.
There haven't been any more major burglaries in that area since this wild dindu have been put down, have there? What a coincidence, don't you think? These two should get the George Zimmerman Award, and they should sue the dindu's family for their pain and suffering. Of course, the news is already showing pictures of this dindu in nice clothes, and next they'll be saying he was in college to be a doctor or nuclear physicist, or was the head of a scientific group that was close to curing AIDS, cancer, and the coronavirus. And now that he is dead, that will never happen. Stupid Schwoogie was somewhere he shouldn't have been. Then chimped out on the white man and got shot dead because he was just doing what niggas do. Keep up the great work, all you white men and white women out there. Teach your white children well.
Teach your what?
Your white children well. The Civil War has already begun.
We dropped it. Go to the book of Daniel. I want to show y'all something. It's for all the Negroes out there that got spiritually closed eyes. Daniel chapter 2, and let's read verse 42 and 43.
Daniel chapter 2 and verse 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay.
It's the fourth beast of Daniel's vision. Read on.
So the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Divided. Go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
This is the place that has all nations gathered unto it. We read that in Habakkuk 2. All nations are gathered unto him. Go ahead.
But they shall not cleave one to another.
They gonna what?
Not cleave one to another.
So no matter how much that the sleep Negro that marries Becky, or the black woman that marries Jonathan, or whatever you want to call it, Bobby, or the one that married Ming Fu Yung, God is telling you that we shall not cleave one to another. What does it mean? There will always be racism in this fourth kingdom. Read on.
Even as iron is not mixed with clay.
And you see it. The guy got to keep reminding us over and over and over again. It's because we go to sleep, eyes closed, and he makes something happen, and we wake up as a people and we get reminded, we still oppressed. Some people don't never open their eyes. They're like, oh, I don't see it. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. We are in the best place in America. And then they go vote for Trump. All right. Go to Ezekiel 35. Vote, period. Ezekiel 35, let's read 1 and 2.
Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying.
Hold on. No, before we go there, pull up that, because it said they was Christians, right? Pull up that modern about, let's see what that. We pulled this book out before. Deke pulled it out. It reminded me when I saw this. Let's see what it says about these good old Christians, right? Go to the picture. Zoom in on it for us. Like it's what? Page 231? Yeah, page 231. Let's read that, the orange parts.
Esau's descendants are the subjects of extensive traditions.
Esau's descendants, right? Esau's descendants. Jump down to the middle orange, the third highlighted orange area where it says Italy founded. Subjugated Italy. That's it right there. Read that part.
Founded Rome.
No, read it. It says subjugated Italy.
Subjugated Italy. Founded Rome and the Roman Empire.
So Esau and his descendants are the people that founded Rome. So we don't get it misunderstood, right? So we know exactly where these white folk come from. They come from way over there, from the Caucasus Mountains, and their ancestors is the ones that built up Rome. That's why everything here in America resembles what, brothers? Rome. I jump back up to that second highlighted area where it says first. Read that.
First, that the descendants of Esau, the sworn enemies of the descendants of Jacob, even to the end of the world.
Read that again.
First, that the descendants of Esau, the sworn enemies of the descendants of Jacob, even to the end of the world.
Even to the end of the world. Now jump down to where it says secondly. The bottom, yeah.
Secondly, that the prophecies of the prophets against Esau, Edom, Seir, and the cities of Edom, especially those of Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Obadiah, have not yet received their full accomplishment.
So Esau's judgments have not received their full accomplishments, right? Jump down to the next orange part.
That this is foretold by the prophets in all their denunciations of the severest plagues against the house of Esau.
The severest what?
The severest plagues against the house of Esau. The cities of and Mount Seir, which all belong to Rome and the Christians.
And the who?
And the Christians.
And them good old Christians, right? Read the last orange part down there about what's going to happen to them good old Christians that descend from Rome, Mount Seir, the descendants of Esau. Read that.
But of the Christians, Obadiah says, there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau.
All of them got to go. Even the ones that are quote unquote good, God says that he's going to get rid of them.
And those little babies. Don't forget the little kids that they said train them up, right?
Oh, he did say that.
He did say that. So them too, they got to get it.
God know what he's doing when he says there shall not be any, because he know the parents is teaching the children the same thing, to be enemies against the house of Jacob for how long, brothers? Give me Ezekiel 35. Let's read 1 and 2.
Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
Mount Seir. Now, who's in Mount Seir, brothers? What's the precept to show who lived in Mount Seir? Let's give it to Officer Hermosa. What's the precept to show who lived in Mount Seir?
Joshua 24:4.
Let's get Genesis 36:8. That's a good one. You can write it down, but this is straight to the point.
The book of Genesis, 36 and verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir.
Who lived in Mount Seir?
Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom.
Esau is Edom, who is the so-called white man all over the earth today. Go back to Ezekiel chapter 35. Now let's read verse 2 again.
Verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it.
Jump down to verse 5. Why prophesy against it? Read.
Verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
What's the sword that Esau uses today? What is it, brothers? The gun. We just saw it right there. In the time when their calamity had an end. This is the time where the space of repentance is open for us as a people, but we continually oppress, and what does Lamentations say? We hunted where, brothers? Let's get it. Lamentations. A time of our calamity had an end where repentance is open. For us, this is what Esau's doing. Give me that in Lamentations chapter 4, and let's read verse 18.
Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 18. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets.
So LeBron was right. He said literally every day we are hunted. Yeah, somewhere across America, you are going to be hunted because there's perpetual hatred in their spirit for us as a people. Read on.
Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
That's what it feels like. Every time our people see this, it feels like our end is come. That our days are near, that somehow, some way, they're going to get all of us, whether it be through the prison system or whether they catch us on the street or whether it be, what's that, social distancing in New York where white folk can go to, what's that place called? Central Park and sit right next to each other. But black folk in the hood, you get slapped, thrown down, and tased and pepper sprayed if you anywhere near each other. Our people feel like our end is near all the time. Go back to Ezekiel chapter 35. And let's read verse 6 now.
Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Even what?
Even blood shall pursue thee.
Even blood shall pursue thee. Now we're going to come back to that. Go to Sirach chapter 18. Go ahead.
Jump back to Lamentations 4 and 17, because where I guess the brother of Ahmad and a lot of our friends of Ahmad and a lot of our people get caught up into this, and the reason why they cannot understand what's going on is because of this. Read
Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 18. They hunt our steps.
No, 17.
17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
So our families and us, and before this truth, we look for the government to save us. We look for a help from everything other than what the Bible says to do. Read.
In our watching,
we was watching for these people.
We have watched for a nation that could not save us.
A lot of people go in, and I don't know if Ahmad thought this way or whatever the case may be, but a lot of us think that America is the holy grail of where we're going to have prosperity, and we just do economics and we be good as the nations and this is that and the other. What we've fallen into is politics and everything, thinking that if we do these things, we'll be all right. Like they say, just follow the law and you'll be good.
Yeah.
Just keep your hand on the steering wheel. You won't get shot. Just give them your license, say yes, sir, yes, ma'am, and you won't get knocked out across the head with a billy club. Just obey. Well, if you look at the brothers and sisters from they'll say, oh, well, if you wouldn't dress like that, then you wouldn't be like that. Yeah. Well, look at the brothers from the 40s and 50s. They wore suits every day.
Damn. Good point.
They wore suits and wingtips hats every day, and they still. got hit across the head. So it don't matter what you dress like.
That's a heavy point. Because when you say that video pops up in my head where they was pushing that black dude down the street. It was a mob of them around him. He was in a suit. Man, that's crazy. All right, go to Sirach. Let's read 8 and 16. Remember, it said death is nothing to him. Blood is nothing. He'll sacrifice his own people just to open the economy so that money can come through. Read that, Sirach 8 and 16.
Sirach chapter 8 and verse 16. Strive not with an angry man.
Now, the anger, why is Esau angry at us? What did it say earlier? Why is he angry at us, brothers? Let's see. Officer Mosa. Why is he angry with us? We read it earlier.
Because we got the blessing.
There you go. God says, don't strive with that angry man. In order not to strive with somebody and be in conflict, you got to be what from them? Separated. That brother's thinking. Got to be separated, right? Read on.
And go not with him into a solitary place, for blood is as nothing in his sight.
This is his spirit. Read on.
And where there is no help, he will overthrow thee.
Didn't we see that with the brother Ahmad? It was no help, so they cornered him in. So a truck behind him, a truck in front of him, one on the back of it with a revolver and one with a daggone shotgun. Where there's no help, God says he will overthrow you because blood is nothing to him, especially yours because he has a perpetual hatred for you. Go to Leviticus 19. Let's read 1 and 2. Yeah, you know, how do you obey God when it comes to this? Leviticus 19 and 1.
And if Ahmad would have overtook the Edomite on the ground, he was already done for because elevation in a gunfight, the military know if you get up above a person, you got the advantage. The daddy was on the back standing
up, waiting.
No matter where he would have went, he would have had the advantage.
Read that, Leviticus 19, 1 and 2.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, Ye shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy.
Now, we've been reading that over and over again about being holy, right? But we ain't dived into it. Pull up the definition of holy. I want to go to the thesaurus and read definition number 2 of what the commandment says for us. About us individually as a nation. Be ye holy, for God is holy. So if you be holy and follow what holy says, you only being what? God-like. That's it. Nobody can get mad at you once you apply holiness. Pull up the definition. What does that say? What's the second definition of being holy? Read that for us, soldier.
Set apart.
Is what?
Set apart.
Socially distanced. Read it.
Or worthy of veneration by association with God.
We'll go back up so they don't think we pulled up some crazy definition. What is that? Holy from the thesaurus. Go back to it again. Number 2. It says what?
Set apart.
Read Leviticus 19 and 1 and 2 again.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel.
Each one of us individually. Read.
And say unto them, Ye shall be holy.
Set apart.
For I, the Lord your God,
set apart.
Am holy.
God ain't with her, right? Leviticus 20, and let's read verse 26. So when you practice social distancing from your natural enemy who God said from the womb be separated, you only being godly. Don't feel bad. Do not feel bad for being holy. You're only being godlike. I want everybody on that. You're only being godlike when you are set apart and holy from your natural enemy.
Right. So that kills all our people that's trying to assimilate with their oppressors. When we apply being holy as a people, we basically now we set the line in the sand, letting you know, wait a minute, we anticipate the mindset of our oppressors.
There you go.
We begin to say, okay, this is a man of blood. I'm not going to be all up in his face. I'm not going to be where he's at. I'm going to keep to myself. I'm going to invest in my own people. So that's exactly what the Most High is showing us. If we was to stick to the guns of being holy, We would already know. Listen, this is a man of blood. He wants me dead.
Right.
He wants my children dead.
Limit your interactions with him.
Limit your
Don't show up to none of his birthday parties. To hell with his Christmas party. To hell with his rock band. To hell with all of it. You better be holy, or it's gonna sneak up and bite you. And the bite is gonna be a damn bullet in the chest.
Hey, Cap, that's what we wonder, because some of the, even the famous actor, because like you brought up before, like you saw Cap Severus brought out last week with P. Diddy. Now you got to think about the other famous actors. What's the guy name that made the movies with the Esau? As far as the guy sits on the damn chair. Yes, no, not Spike Lee. The other, that's two of them. I don't know, one of them. That is most of the fame, but he married one of the Edomites. His wife is Esau. Yeah, that's
Key and
it.
Peele?
Key and Peele, yeah. So he married Jordan something.
Jordan Peele.
Right. So all the movies that he came out shows that what Esau's against our people.
Yeah.
And he's gonna go and marry Esau.
Yeah.
And then once again, his eyes is closed.
Yeah.
But now people like, dang, he's deep. He understand, but got no solution.
No, God said his eyes is closed.
Closed.
Read that Leviticus 20 and verse 26.
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me.
Turn that speak up. Go ahead.
For I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine.
Hey, when you practice social distancing from the other nations, you're only obeying, thus saith the Lord. People be calling us hate group. No, we not. We are only obeying, thus saith the Lord.
Hey, Cap,
They can't blame you for nothing.
No.
Once you activate that, you apply that right there, the other nations can't blame you for nothing. And it's going to be easy to see. They coming at me. They attacking me. Black Wall Street. It was evident that we was keeping to ourselves. They was keeping to themselves. So they had to activate. Wait a minute. They don't need us anymore? Activate the bombs.
Drop the bombs.
We can't allow it anymore.
Hey, jump back up to verse 23 now.
23. And you shall not walk in the manners of the nations.
You shall not be like them. The things that they do, do not do them. Don't walk as the manner of the other nations. Read on.
Which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them.
We're going to show some of those things that they committed in a minute. Go ahead. Verse 24.
But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey.
Here's the point.
I am the Lord your God, which have separated
Which have
you,
what?
Have separated you from other people.
From who?
From other people.
Told you, man. We've been supposed to be practicing social distance. This is ordained by God. We just got to be reminded of these things. Jump up to verse 7.
Verse 7. Sanctify yourselves, therefore.
Do what?
Sanctify yourselves, therefore.
Pull up the definition of sanctify. We're going to get all these holy, sanctified, noble, we treasure. Pull it up, sanctify, and see what God says sanctify means. Read that, drop the bars for him, or scroll up on it. Yeah, read that.
Sanctify. To set apart.
To do what?
To set apart to a sacred purpose or to religious
Man,
use.
we've been supposed to be set apart. Been supposed to be sanctifying ourselves. Not taking on the ways of the other nations. Assimilating ourselves. If we'd known this, we'd be a lot better off today waiting on the Lord than going through all of this calamity and oppression that we're going through. Go to Proverbs 3:31. Just in case you don't understand sanctify and holy, that's too much for you. You got to dumb it down. God dumbs it down for us all. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Now, this is for the simpleton that got his eyes closed. Oh, you're talking on his mic. You're on the YouTube. All of that stuff we talked about during that about the fake eyelashes, right? Oh, you use it as you're sitting in his chair. That's your oppressor's chair. No, it says the things that you have a choice in, choose none of his ways. And pull up the images. We're going to scroll through the images of things that we as a people have a choice not to choose when it comes to our oppressors' ways, but we choose to dabble in that and make those our ways. We socially accept these things as our own. Pull up the images. Let's see. Let's go through those things. Vote or die. Where's the law that says you have to vote? There is not one. You don't have to, but we do that. This is what God means. Choose none of his ways. Go ahead. Let's flip through them. Oh, there you go. You better get out. Y'all see that? Better get out. Keep going. There you go. You want to take on their sports, and you say, you Negroes, although the national anthem is a racist anthem that is not meant for you, you want to play on my team, you're going to have to kneel with me, Negroes. Look at that. Look around there.
Though hand joining hand with me.
There you go. That's what is Jerry Jones and whatever the other coach is. Black dude, black dude, black dude, white dude, black dude, white dude, black dude, black dude. The rest of the damn team is rest of black too. Keep going. These are things that God says, choose none of his ways. Sports, go ahead. Oh, Lesbos. That ain't our ways. No, them's Greek fashions. Them come from the Romans. Lesbianism. Go ahead. Oh, black man, you dressed up in dresses. Choose none of his ways. Get off of it. She look at you crazy, ain't she? Like, what? Why is that man in a dress? We have succeeded. Choose none of his ways. Go ahead. Guns, drugs. Choose none of his ways. Go ahead. Sagging your pants. Choose none of his ways. Oh, there we go. Blonde hair, weaved out hooligan. Choose none of his ways. Blonde hair, natural hair. Choose none of his ways. I made sure I put both of those in there. You walking around these leggings. Choose none of his ways. Those are pants. Underwear. Smoking cigarettes. Choose none of his ways. Drugs, shooting up, needles, popping pills, crack. Choose none of his ways. Is that it? All right. So that's just some things. Choose envy thou. Read Proverbs 3:31 again.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Choose none of his ways. Go to 2 Corinthians 6, and let's read 17, 18. Let's read those quick. We almost finished.
2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 18.
17.
Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord. And touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty.
So it didn't change from the old and from the new. We were supposed to be socially distanced from the days of old, even until the days of now, even until when Christ returns and picks us up. Be separated from morally, spiritually, leave their Christmas alone, their wicked holidays, come out from among them. Give me Revelation 18 and 4. Revelation 18 and 4. Let's read that real quick.
Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
Because when you associate yourself with the ways of Babylon the Great, the Lord, you are what I would say, the Lord is fully justified in plaguing you the way he's plaguing them. And we see that right now playing out during this corona epidemic. The Lord is fully justified when he plagues you, because you know what you do? You eat like them, you dress like them, you think like them. You even believe like they believe. So you know what? When that scourge or that plague comes by, when that pestilence, like Officer Padgett was talking about, comes by, that consumption, the God is fully justified of slapping you with it, because you just like your oppressors that you envy. Go to Sirach chapter 12, and let's read verse 10.
Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10.
Because you won't socially distance yourself from them, God is fully justified in doing what he does to you when he jacks you up. Read that.
Never trust thine enemy.
Do what?
Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16.
Why never trust your enemy? Read that.
An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
Because blood is nothing to him. Them same people, them 50,000 people that joined that group and said justice for Greg and whatever, McMichael, them's the same people that work with you. That smile on your face and ask you how you're doing, but secretly, if you marry, if one of their daughters marry a Negro, you'll hear something come out of them. You never thought that they never showed you that stuff before. Oh, Father, this is Becky talking. Oh, Father, I didn't know you felt this way. Yes, I feel this way. You brought one of them Negroes home. You're going to give me one of them mulatto babies. Get rid of him. This in him, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but he imagines, how can I get rid of him? How can I overthrow them? Jump back up to verse 11.
Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
Jump down to verse 17.
Verse 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.
Though he pretends to give you, Tuskegee? Though he pretends to give you a shot for the syphilis, oh, it's really to undermine thee. Jump back up to verse 12. So with all that being said, what does God say?
Verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
We are the Jews. Go ahead.
Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words.
God said, remember my words.
And be pricked therewith.
Wake the hell up and get the hell away. That's what he said. Be pricked. Wake the hell up and get the hell away. Now, let's pull up that book, the Bible Exposition Commentary. Remember, I said we was going to come back to that Ezekiel 35. I ain't forgot about it. Let's pull up the Bible Exposition Commentary, and I want you to go down to page 226, where it talks about Ezekiel 35. And we want to read the part where it says the sins of Edom. It's on the left-hand side. Right? Keep going. Right there. Go up. The sins of Edom. Let's see what the Bible Exposition Commentary says about that Ezekiel 35, about blood being nothing to him. Let's read that real quick.
The sins of Edom. Ezekiel 35, 1-15. The Lord had already pronounced judgment on Edom through Isaiah. Jeremiah.
No, just skip all that. Go to Ezekiel. But now.
But now he did it again and added some details. Mount Seir is another name for Edom, the nation founded by Esau, Jacob's twin brother. Edom means red and was a nickname given to Esau. Esau was a man of the world who had no spiritual desires.
He what?
Was a man of the world who had no spiritual desires.
So they might call themselves Christians, but it's a damn front. They have no spiritual desires. They portray themselves as Christians and Jewish, all for the luxuries that go around with it by deeming themselves, oh, we Christians. Oh, we are the Jews. They don't believe in that stuff. They only do it because with that name behind them comes certain white supremacy advantages that you can't get being called somebody else. They have no spiritual values. Read on.
And willingly sold his birthright to his brother Jacob. Esau fought with his brother even in their mother's womb, and hated his brother because the Lord had chosen Jacob to receive the blessings of the covenant. This hatred was passed on from generation to generation.
It was what?
Was passed on from generation to generation. And the Edomites maintained what God called a perpetual hatred.
Generation to generation. That's why in that article it said, make sure you teach your kids. They are doing what is in their spirit, how God created them to be. You can't change them. Go ahead. Go back to it. Go to the top of that. Go to the top. Read that.
This hatred was no doubt like some of the ethnic wars that the world had seen today. Once again, the Lord reminded the Edomites of their great sin against their brethren when they assisted the Babylonians in attacking the Jews during the siege of Jerusalem. What their founder Esau vowed to do in his day, they accomplished in their own day when they killed their own blood relatives. In Ezekiel 35, verse 6, the word blood in the KJV should read bloodshed. The Edomites pursued the Jews to kill them, so bloodshed would pursue them. The Edomites carried on a perpetual hatred against Israel, so the land of Edom would receive a perpetual desolation. Edom would be no more.
Now read this next paragraph. Read that.
Was this a just judgment? Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. Read.
And the prophet gave the reasons why the destruction of Edom was an act of righteous judgment. For one thing, the descendants of Esau were greedy and wanted to claim the conquered nations of Judah and Samaria for themselves.
They are greedy. Go ahead.
Completely ignoring the will of the Lord. God had given the land of Canaan to Abraham and his descendants, and that meant Jacob and not Esau. During Israel's march to Canaan, they were warned not to meddle with the Edomites because God had assigned their land to them, and they would not inherit any land in Canaan.
So God was telling us out of Egypt, don't mess with these people. Leave them alone. Go ahead.
But the Edomites wanted to change God's plan.
They wanted to do what?
Wanted to change God's plans and annul God's covenant and take the land for themselves.
Just like they took America, saying it was what? What did they say when they came over here? They called it what? No, when they was taking over, what did they call it, Ciroc? Say it on the mic for the people. What did they call it?
Manifest destiny.
They wanted to change the will of God. God gave this place and that place over there for Jerusalem for us. Go ahead.
When the Babylonians invaded Judah in 606 BC,
the Lord was there fulfilling his own purposes. Somebody get him some water. And he saw what the Edomites did. The Lord also saw their anger and promised to repay them in kind. For nations as well as individuals reap what they sow. He heard their blasphemous words against their brothers, the Jews, how they rejoiced because the land of Israel was being ravished and plundered by the Babylonian invaders. But they weren't blaspheming man, they were blaspheming God and boasting in their pride as though they would escape judgment. In their arrogance, Edom rejoiced over the fall of Israel, but one day the whole earth would rejoice over the fall of Edom. Oh, it's coming, baby. God's promise to the Jews was that one day they would no longer be a prey to the other nations. And this chapter explains why God will deal with their enemies and remove them from the face of the earth. You will be desolate, O Mount Seir. Woo! I like that breakdown of it. Let's go to Psalms 35. We're going to end it on Psalms 35, 1 through 9. So, yeah, we might be catching hell now. It don't look like no hope. But God has promised this. This should be all the prayer. You're mad, you're frustrated at seeing them kill another black man. This time, it's for jogging. And what did Negroes do? They say, you know what? I'm going to jog 2 miles for a mile. No! You should be praying. Open your spiritual eyes and ears. Hear the word of the Lord and repent. Psalms 35, 1 through 9.
The book of Psalms, chapter 35 and verse 1. Plead my cause, O Lord, with them that strive with me.
Plead our cause. They strive with us. We're peaceable people. Don't start no trouble. What, brothers? Won't be no trouble. Read on.
Fight against them that fight against me.
This is the prayer of David. And David was a man after God's own what, brothers? So it ain't wrong to ask God to fight against them that fight against us. Read.
Take hold of shield and buckler and stand up for mine help. Draw out also the spear and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Lord chase them.
Let the what?
The angel of the Lord chase them.
Let the watchers chase them. Go ahead.
Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute.
And we see the Lord setting that up. We see all those unidentifiable objects flying around. The Lord is setting them up to persecute those that persecute us. Read on.
For without cause have they hid from me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unawares.
Read on.
And let his net that he hath hid catch himself. into that very destruction, let him fall.
Let him fall. Go ahead.
And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord.
Read that again.
And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord.
One more time.
And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation.
And let the whole congregation say, amen.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.